Dear daughters, the day each of you were born, your father and I were ecstatic about all the endless possibilities that lie ahead of you. We're even more excited today as you both grow up to be beautiful young ladies, and we get the opportunity to instill in you the positive moral values of confidence and a love of literacy that will propel your dreams forward. Remember, your words have power. So always read, write, speak up, dream, believe, succeed. You are our legacy. Love always, Mommy. Many of you may not be a parent like I am, and that's okay. How many of you are aunts? I see you. How many of you are uncles, siblings, cousins, coaches, community volunteers that could write a similar letter like the one I share with my daughters, esteeming the youth, the young reader, with love? Our duty as community members is to help to cultivate a love of literacy in each and every young child we have an opportunity to impact, because that love of literacy will transcend generations. It will help to heal and to empower. 4 years ago, all of us that are sitting in this room lived through a global pandemic that impacted our world to its core. We face looming health crisis, family loss, discouraging and disheartening events shared on a daily basis. And as a reading specialist, I saw from my vantage point the impact of educational disparities on young readers. So I thought to myself, how can we begin to heal and to help? And I thought cultivating a love of literacy, igniting a passion of reading, writing, speaking, and listening, which is all the 5 facets of literacy, would begin that change. But also from my vantage point as a reading specialist, I wondered, are the hours of a typical school day enough to begin to nurture and to truly build that love of literacy that will go beyond a test, beyond a task, and to be able to propel dreams forward in young readers? There was a survey conducted in that same year by the International Literacy Association, or ILA, that surveyed literacy leaders, administrators, principals, teachers, over 6 different countries. And 70% of those literacy leaders agreed that the hours of a typical school day were not enough for independent reading, and that independent reading time would allow young readers to engage and connect with cultivating characters, or let's say characters, fascinating plots, fascinating facts, and wonderful words that really truly would resonate with young readers beyond just the pages of a book. In addition to that, 52% showed that they did not have access to high quality and diverse content so that our young readers could see themselves and others and begin to have conversations and connections beyond just who they are. 42% also noted that there was also struggling readers who were it was at an all-time low. So in the hours of that typical school day, I began to wonder, are we going to truly be able to continue to build up a love of literacy? Are we going to be able to stand by and think, what can we do? And to that, I say a resounding no. And the ramifications for inaction are dire. We would have to find a solution. And I have two take and try tasks that can begin to build a love of literacy in us, literacy leaders, in you, communities. We can begin to bridge the gap between the schoolhouse day and the curriculums and a love of literacy in our young readers. That first take and try could be just beginning simple and small. According to a PBS article, and many of us know that PBS article, PBS, correct? That's Sesame Street, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Those are all the things I love as a reading specialist and share with my readers and my daughters. And they're saying it doesn't have to be that grand. You don't have to dive headfirst into lengthy novels. You simply need to see what are the passions that ignite an excitement about literacy in young readers. Is that dinosaurs? Magical adventures? What is it that they love about reading or literacy? And it's not only just the pages of an actual book. You can read ebooks, you can listen to it, you can have it read to you. It's all about starting small and simple with families and communities. Being those positive reading role models in the life of young readers. Cultivating and igniting a passion to be able to dive not necessarily headfirst into a novel, but the healing power of words and a literacy experience. So step one, start small, start simple, start together. And today, step two, that is having a shared literacy experience. Similar to step one, but in this one, it goes beyond just the pages of a book. Remember, you can have conversations around literacy. If it's around the dinner table with family, walking in through the grocery store and looking up the aisles if you have a little one, listening to an audio book when you're on a long journey on a family vacation, that's literacy. Talk about it. Ask questions. Think about it. Create that space, that shared experience where young readers they're encouraged to have that voice. They're encouraged to talk about what they're reading, what they like, and maybe what they dislike. Literacy encompasses that all. So again, I started our conversation with my open love letter to my beautiful daughters. Can you begin to envision who you may write a love of literacy letter to? Do you have that name? Can you hold your hand and bring it to your heart? A love of literacy is beyond a test. It's beyond a task. We can be those literacy leaders, those positive reading role models who can cultivate a love of literacy that will transcend challenges, transcend anything that is going to hold our young readers back from reaching their infinite potentials. So if you have that name, you are now charged as a literacy leader. So to you, dear literacy leaders, remember your words have power. So read, write, speak up, believe, dream, succeed. Pass the torch of a love of literacy to your legacies. Love always, Mrs. Sheffield.